Outer Orange.
Cards. Guys, welcome to a more chill video. This is usually my little coffee videos, I like to call them, where we just vibe and we're gonna just look at wonderful, beautiful cards. This is for set 9 Shadowverse. We're just gonna check it out today and just kind of look at it. Just look at cards. Let's go ahead and do it. We got a lot to go through today, and I don't have my camera on because it's been screwing me up recently, so I'm actually going to do it without my second camera on. Got a bunch of Shadowverse to open today, and there's so much good stuff in here, and 50 sent me a ton of stuff, so we're going to go ahead and open some of these up. This is the entirety of set 9. This is every card that you could possibly get. There's nothing more enjoyable than just looking at cards, and you'll notice there's no more tokens anymore, so now we have just raw dog cards. It's really great. So let's go ahead, we're gonna split this in half and kind of just see what we got going on. So we have the Yggdrasil. So this is the new boss card for spell forest, so if you're really big into spells, this is a blast. And then we have the White Vonara. This is amazing if you're into the beast archetype. Unfortunately, this deck's a little bit incomplete right now, but it's not bad. It just needs a little bit of help. They got their own elephant. Basically, he kind of acts like the elephant from back in the day. So we have him, and then we're just going straight into swords. So here's Cilia. She's a 1-drop who evolves into other forms of herself, and she is absolutely nuts. This card's insane. Her evolves are both really good. They get you tokens, and they're just really aggressive. There's a light and dark version of her. It's just really fun. We got Tsukiyomi. Now this is probably one of my favorite archetypes. I'm assuming the other ones are in here too. Yes, they are. I absolutely love this moon and sun thing we have going on, and for those that are a little bit more interested in like cool decks to build, I've been recently digging really deep into 2-cost Abyss, and these cards in 2-cost Abyss are absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend, if you still want to keep 2-cost Abyss and you don't want to play bats, this is definitely a really good alternative. This combination is so good. You have such good curve too on 4 mana. You just drop both of these down. It feels so satisfying, so I really recommend trying these out. Also, I just in general think these are good in random decks, so you can definitely test around with these. Here's Paradise Vanguard. This is honestly a staple that you'll start seeing in future sets. So for those of you guys that are interested into looking into future sets, I highly recommend picking up the Paradise Vanguard. He is going to come back. He's played in Angel decks. He's played in Angel Abyss. He's even played now. Some rune decks are actually on this deck just because of how powerful he is. So he can basically clear 3 cards on his own. So I'll show you guys what the regular version of him does. So basically, if there are always 5 angels in your cemetery, so I can flower and banish it. But then on Evolve, he also banishes a 4-cost or less, and then you can also swing him into something and then do some work there. So you basically get access to 3 cards off of him, and he's a little costly. He is a 3, but you can give 3/4 basically because you also have to evolve him. But he is very worthy. This card comes up quite a lot. Tenko's Shrine. This is not a very used amulet in Amulet Haven, but you can use it. It does come up sometimes. Heavenly Knight. This is also for Amulet Haven. I'm also not a big fan of him, but he does have Storm on him, which is also really nice. He's a 3/7 with Storm, and then if there's at least 2 amulets on your field, he also becomes a 4/9, so he's a little bit hard to remove. You can swing into something and then he wards himself up, so your opponent has to answer him right away. And he even doesn't really have too many good Storm units. He's okay. I'm just not the biggest fan of he's a 5-cost, and I don't know, not my favorite. We also have a piece of the deer here. So this is the new deer. This is also for Amulet Haven. So this one says you can bury an amulet to give your leader +4. Really useful because some amulets want to be killed off for their own effects. And then there's also a dark version of him, of the deer. Here's the deer itself. This deer is pretty good. It lets you evolve for 1 into the light or the dark, and then he also lets you find some amulets with his Spend Fear ability. We also have Vanilla. So this is all the bat support here. Probably we're going to see here for a little bit. So that's one of the bat support. We got some Sanguine. Sanguine's kind of weak this set in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's not doing too hot. This bat's really good, but it's just it's a little late. It's a little too late right now. We have the old Blood King. This is perfect for bats as well, to swarm your board with bats, and they get power. A lot of good stuff. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck right now. This card really carries the entire deck. We see we got some dragon as well. So this is the Dragonet set. I will say the dragon stuff I know a little bit less, but I am starting to familiarize myself with the duelist cards. This is a duelist card. A lot of storm, a lot of baning. with the duelist stuff. This is the Poseidon, and he lets you get 2 duelists out as well, which is also really powerful. You get some 2 drops out, and you can kind of set up with the duelist engine. You got the overflow here to recover 2 play points, and then when you play a spell, so this one's a little bit different, it's not part of the duelist engine. Here's the 10 drop that some people run / don't run. He's pretty okay. He has a light and a dark form of him, so you can pick which one you want to go into. But this is good for Ramp Dragon, if I had to guess. He also goes off of how much spells you can recover play points, so you can become super cheap if you go the spell route. So there's that. And then we have some rune back here. This is another one of those evolve into one or the other type of things, but I don't think this card's really played. This card's played in Academia, but it's not played like any of the other rune decks. And right now, rune I would consider is the strongest craft of the crafts we've gotten, because every deck in that's in right now in rune is basically broken or really good. It has I think in my opinion has the least worst matchups. I think its worst matchup is probably Dragon Forte, unironically. All right, I was able to get it out. I'm gonna split it in half again. So here is we looked at the 1 drop a little bit earlier. So this is the light version. So she summons a shield guardian, and then her dark version summons basically another one, but it's a little high cost. Got Spartacus. This card's hilarious. It basically says you discard any number of cards and draw that many cards +1, and if you have 1 less cards in your deck, you just win the game. So this is just a really funny little side engine you can run in decks. It's not super insane, but it is useful. You can run this with the altar plane and just mill out half your deck and then go into him and try to win that way. There's like a couple of things you can do. It's very cheesy, but it's funny kind of cheese. And then we have, this is I called her Potion Girl, but this is Serdwin. I actually did not realize she was meant for dirt when I was first looking at these cards, but she is absolutely broken card. This is the resource engine of like dirt right now. It makes dirt, this and Fost makes the dirt as strong as it is right now. Those 2 cards are just absolutely ridiculous. They just do so much for so little, and this is definitely part of what's good. It's building that. Here's the evolve form, which gets you the other poison as long as you pay your stacks. Here's Fost, by the way. This card is disgusting. This grabs any 2 it's a 4. It has to equal 4 OS, but any 2 amulets, and you basically just have access to them, and you play them for free. And this is disgusting. I don't know how this got printed. It became legal, because like it gets you gingerbread, it gets you spell removal, it gets you whatever you want. It directly tutors from your deck, so it's absolutely insane. And then you get a +1/+1 on top of it, and then you also can deal 2 damage to your enemy leader on top of it at the end by just removing a stack. So he becomes basically a 5/5, or he can make something else stronger. Absolutely nuts card. I've been playing into this. I'm just like, bro, like what is this? This is so powerful. Worlds is coming up. I cannot wait for Worlds to just be Fost everywhere. Like people are just gonna, like, this card is so broken. And this is part of the Academia stuff though. This is part of the little trial decks that Japan got, but we just got them in the deck. And actually I do think this deck has some room for breathing. I do think it's the weakest of the rune decks so far, but it is really powerful. And I'm saying this from, I've been talking to a lot of rune heavy players who have been telling me, you know, sort of what they've been testing, and this is kind of sort of where their knowledge is coming from. I don't play rune at all. I just play into it quite a lot, so they just tell me what's going on. And from based off so far, I'm seeing this to be the weaker, but it's still really good. It's still tier 2. It's still tier 2. It's still up there. It's just not, you know, it's powerful as Dirt and Kuon in my opinion, but still powerful. So she basically lets you find her spell, and then she lets you find her friend, and then basically you just kind of power off of that. Your weight game scaling gets really good with the missiles in her, so she gets really good. Here's her friend. This is on. This is that was on. This is Graham, and then she also lets you nuke some stuff if you have 10 Academia cards, and she also has an evolve of her own, and there's some little so a couple things too. She gets the Greya's Ember, which is the 1 drop, and you just kind of pop off with like spells and stuff like that. It's really cool. This art's also really pretty. Here's Jerva. Jerva is also a very interesting card. I actually really like this. I actually think he's really cool. You have to discard your whole hand. That was a little risky, but he's also just really cool. I don't know what decks are supposed to play him in, but I just think he's cool. And then, but the dealing damage is pretty nice, and you get to draw cards back. I'm assuming this is meant for Discard Dragon, but I'm not too familiar with it. And then we have Zenetra, which nobody really likes this card. It's like a dragon token, and you got your Winkem or whatever. I don't know. No one cares about this, so I guess maybe it's a little too weak. And then here we have the last bit of the Duelist. So this is the main card you want to run in Duelist. This is for the Aftershock. You basically, when she dies, you get the Aftershock token. If you don't have one already, and you get to summon one, and basically you just use her as like your main pop-off engine to kind of keep going. She's like the beginning of like the strength of the deck. You really want to find her like as soon as possible, because she lets you set up for Aftershock and all that kind of fun stuff, which is basically the point of the Duelist deck. The Duelist deck seems to be like a big like Bane and Storm deck with a Forte under it as well. It does some really cool things, actually. I think the deck's cool. I'm not really a dragon player, but friends who are dragon players really like it. Here's the other half, the other half of the duelist card that I missed, and then we have, this is the Bane card I was talking about. It also has Storm if you have some duelist cards in your field, so definitely want to respect the board as much as possible, because if their board gets massive, that gets really disgusting. Here we have the Bats of Vanilla. Now, I will say after testing, this is actually not my favorite Abyss deck anymore. It's just not anymore. I actually see light in 2-cost Abyss over this deck. I know that's crazy to say, because people think this deck's like tier 0. I think as long as you keep respecting board, this deck is not tier 0. I think it has a hard recovery rate if people tech for this deck. If people don't tech for this deck, then yeah, this deck's insane. But because everyone's teching Angelic Barrage and they're basically playing removal, if you have nothing stick, like your bats don't stick, this deck starts falling off. That's very similar to Sword, but they're still very powerful. You still need to respect them. It's kind of like the Atomaster thing, Atomaster decks, where like if you keep their board, like if their board stays, like they're murdering you. Like the deck gets so the ceiling gets really high if cards stick. So something to kind of keep in mind with Vanilla, but also really powerful. I think her light and dark version, like the light one's okay, but her dark one is really where all the power is with this deck. The dark one's absolutely nuts. It burns, it clears board, does a lot of stuff in one card. So the white one's a little bit chiller. It's like a draw, discard, and you have some bats they play last, they can heal and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of little healing. Now, Depart is something I've recently started cooking a little bit with my boyfriend. He's a huge fan of Depart, and so am I, actually. I love Depart. I love Ector. I've been loving the card literally since it released. But I was playing Haven at the time, and I just started the game, so I was still kind of learning. He doesn't attack, but he basically sets up ghost tokens, and he buries and stuff like that. He's a good setup card. The only downside to him is that he can't attack, and if you face a mirror, this is really brutal. Basically, if you face someone who's running Whispers of a Dream, you just kind of kill his card off. But you can also revive him off of Ector because he's a 2-drop. So there's also like little things you can do. But your board gets insanely massive. Your opponent has to answer the board as quickly as possible, because there's like a 10-drop that also becomes really big, and with Ward, because there's a pumpkin guy that gets revived, that gets Ward, and the board gets really nasty. So you have to clear the board really fast when mid to late game. We have Jean. I don't know what to do with this card. She's really, really cool. I really like this card. I don't know what to throw it in. I thought about playing it in Egg Haven maybe, because like you get like little storms, and she has a good evolve, and you know, all this little stuff. She also draw cards if there's at least 2 followers with Jean in their name in the cemetery. So maybe there's some like sauce with this. I don't know. This card feels really bad right now, but maybe in the future it'll be better. I'm not too sure. Her evolve is also pretty good too, because she lets you basically summon a follower that costs 2 or less from your hand, which is really good. You basically have access to getting her out and then getting something else out that's really useful. So you can do her into like Meowskers, and then you basically have a strike that also gives the +1 to Meowskers or something like that. Like something like that. I don't know what else to do with this, or you can, you know, use her and maybe summon something else. I don't know. It's really, I'm really having trouble with this one. Haven in general, I've been really struggling with what to do with it. Here we have the Tutinkum. Basically he summons himself out, and then he draws a card. You put a card from hand to the bottom of your deck. Nothing too crazy. He is a good stat line, a good 5/4. He has like a ward on him as well. On death, he summons another copy, so there's probably some room for him somewhere. Here's Marduk. I absolutely love Marduk. I think this card, I'm a big fan of neutral cards. I think I just have an obsession for neutral cards because they can be thrown into any deck, and that means that increases deck building, stuff like that. So this is Marduk. He basically buries 2, and then he has an evolve. Hopefully the evolve's back here. It is. So he has an evolve that basically says if there's at least 5 spells in your cemetery, give your leader +5 and draw up. Really, really, really good effect. And then on evolve, if there are at least 5 amulets in your cemetery, deal 5 damage to each amulet leader on the field and draw a card. So basically, depending on the approach you want to go with him, if you want to go the spell route, if you want to go amulet route, you have to do one or the other. You can heal or you can deal damage, so you could technically run this in amulets if you want, but you have to have the cemetery for it, so it is a little bit awkward, but he's really cool. And then here in the back, these are the spells for the moon and sun that we're talking about at the very beginning of this video. Also just really, really, really good cards. These basically summon one or the other, and then you can also banish this card from your cemetery, and you select both from your cemetery and summon them. So this is just such a good low cost engine. It's just so nice. Like I said, these are really, really good in Abyss. Definitely my favorite in Abyss right now. There's probably more room in other decks for these. I'm not too sure exactly where, but I'm sure there's decks that would love to see these, but they're just really good cards. The Witch of Foresight. So this is the witch that some people play for. She's just a mage, basically lets you bury it. Draw some cards. I don't know too much what her purpose is. And then we have the, like, at least in terms of decks, anyway, I have to bury this. So it's going to be far in the field, deal it 3 damage. Just an amulet you can run. Got the Tycoon guy, he's just a little draw engine. Really good for that Spartacus deck. Got a 1-drop. You have a token follower, get +1/+1. Really good for sword. Got the attack dude. Got the Axe Princess, which she's pretty good actually. I like the Axe Princess, but she's not really played. With the Flower of Fairies, this is perfect for like fairy aspect things. This card's really good for puppets. It's not the best thing in the world. It doesn't make puppets insane or anything like that, but it's a good added engine into puppets that you can play. So if you're into puppets, you can play this. Actually, one of the topping lists in Japan was running this at 3. So basically, it bounces something your opponent's side. It's a 3 OS. It's kind of like another version of Whispers of a Dream, since it bounces back to hand. Then you get a puppet and your token on your opponent's turn because you can do it on your opponent's turn. So it's a quick effect. So it's really useful. We got the little 1-drop here. You can discard a card, give your leader +1. If you discard a spell, you draw 1. So it's part of the spell engine. Got a little fairy token spawner, and then we have the Grasshopper, which is meant for the Yggdrasil deck, and then continuing that, and we got some tokens back here, which I'm actually really excited about. I don't like the thick tokens, so I'm very happy to have these now, so kind of thin out my decks a little bit so they're not super thick with tokens. And then we have some Holy Falcons, and he also 50 gave me some bats and ghosts and the Megalorca, and then Dragon tokens. So just a bunch of tokens. I have a bunch of them. This might just all be tokens, to be honest with you. Looks like it is. So we have the Magic Sentiment, the Golem creators for a rune, some of the sword old cards, fairies, got Aftershock in here, missile, more instant potion, and internal potion. So yeah, that was all of that. We do have more cards, don't worry, there's more cards coming. All right, so we have Grea's Embers, we talked about earlier, her spell, and then here is on spells. So there's those, and then we have the Absolute Zero Blade. This card's nuts. Really good for Kuan. This basically is Angelic Barrage, but then it also deals extra depending on your spell chain. So this is just a really good card. The only downside to this, it's not a quick effect, so to be careful when you use it, but it's really useful. Got the Owen Knight. This is another Academia card. Got the Snowman. This card's so funny. It's basically Buggy from One Piece. It's a really good card. It says while this card's on the field, followers that cost 3 OS on the field can't attack enemies. So and then you give your leader +3 on death. And it's a 4/6. It's hard to remove. Your opponent like drops this. It's basically a floodgate, and they have to answer it. Now some decks will answer this, but some decks can't answer this. So be mindful of this card. This is a very good floodgatey card. Like I said, deadass like One Piece. It's also blue. Has an almost replica of this card. There's just slightly differences in what the second effect is, but the first effect is almost the same. Some of the light and dark parts of the Academia card we saw earlier. This is I believe the light one because it's the healing one. We got the duel. It's basically part of the black and white sword stuff. That here's more of the black and white sword stuff. Some Prim is part of that as well. Then we have some more Yggdrasil spell cards here. We got the Axeman, which is also part of the spells. We have this card. I kind of slept on this card a little bit. This is the Paula. Although this card was kind of okay, but her evolve is actually nuts. So here's her regular form. She basically lets you evolve for one into one or the other, which is really good. So one lets you find spells, and then the other one lets you bring back cards from your board into your token area, so you can swing with stuff and then put them back in the EXO, which is really cool. Really cool gimmick for actually puppets. So this is really good for puppets. So really cool. I saw it in action. I was like, damn, that's just crazy. It's really good. Have the Divine. I'm not too sure what this is meant for, but basically it goes like your opponent field, destroy, and if there's an evolve flower in your field, put this card into its own EX zone. So basically, you can quick effect kill something and then put this in your EX zone to then use it again. So this is for Marduk basically. But it's really good. Oceanus is really good. She's meant for like some decks do run her. You can basically drop her on turn 1, they don't answer it, then you can on turn 2 evolve something, and then she gets you effects. So she's really cool. I really like her. This guy's just a random follower strike. Get this follower +2/+2. So here's his regular form. You can select enemy followers in the field, engage them. They don't refresh during your controller's next star phases. This is really cool. We have the amulet. This is for Haven as well. This gets the foul cards. I'm not too sure of how good they are, but there's that. Here's the White Fang Temple. This is meant for Amulet Haven as well. You stack it up, and then basically you get to search for some cards and summon them. Pretty good overall. It's a very good card. And then also you have the Jeweled Priestess, was also meant for Amulet. She'll let you summon at 2 costs. So you can play her and then play the Idol Master card that also lets you summon an amulet, and then you basically just get free amulets for doing nothing. And then once per turn, when an amulet is put onto your field, you give this +1. You give your leader +1, which is also really good. So basically you'll play her, play an amulet, and then you'll get the heal, and then you also get the swing off of her. And usually the amulet you'll play is like maybe like a 1-drop that like lets you draw, or maybe you can play the 2-drop that searches for other cards, or whatever you choose to go down with the amulet path. And then here's her regular form. Got the Blood Moon. I actually think this card's really good. It sucks that it's meant for beasts, but it searches your deck, which is really important. It means you're shuffling. Yeah, so if you have a bad mulligan early, you can shuffle it back. So this searches your deck for a beast follower, reveal it, add to your hand, and also you can bury this card, deal 1 damage to your enemy leader. I don't think it's anything crazy. I'm just kind of showing guys like a small interaction you can do with it. So here's the bats. This is meant for the Vanilla bat deck. And it looks like we have a soul hunter back here. Each opponent bears a follower with the highest attack among followers on their field. That sounds really good. She's a necromancer, cutthroat girl. I have the big soul hunter that we just saw a second ago. That's the one that buries. And we have a little bit of that dragon, Megalontica stuff. Got another duelist card. These are all the commons now. This card's really good. This is the Bane with the storm on it. It's small, but it does a lot of poking damage early on. Got the Katakura, which also lets you find Dragonic duelist cards as well. She's really, really good as well. Got this is the Winkin card. Just to select an enemy far on the field and destroy it for 2 mana. So it's a 6 basically. A little costly there. Got a little dude here. Also deals damage with the Winkin stuff. So another part of that. Got the really good, this is another searchable card for Faust. Lets you summon golems and basically give them extra power buffs. This is also really good for Dirt Rune. Part of the Academia cards, and then we have more Academia, the Searcher here. And then back here we have the Palala, which also is an Academia card, and then here's the other half of that. And then this is part of the Onion, so if you're really big into the Onion deck, you basically can play this as well. She's really good. I mean, Onion I actually think is not too bad of a deck, very similar to the other rune decks in the set that are just all really good. So with her, you basically call out a bunch of onions, swing, and you're basically doing like 8 damage potentially while also burning the board, which is also really good. So some really good stuff with the onion patch stuff happening. And then we have more of the black and white cards for sword here. Seeing this guy, yes, this is Dario. During your turn, when enemy followers put from the field into cemetery, give this +1/+1. That's pretty cool. Little assail guy here. He has a sail on both his effects actually, so he can early assail too if you need to trade into bodies. I got some more of the Yggdrasil stuff. Got a Holy Falcon here. Funnily enough, this is for Hunter Beast, so that's really cool. It's like a hunter card. So that's also really cool. I didn't even know about that card. Got another angel card. Again, if you're interested in the angel decks, I highly recommend picking these up because they'll definitely come up. They'll be used in future decks. Not right now, but future stuff. Very soon, like in a set or two, you'll definitely be using these. Especially with the Vanguard set coming out, there's some cards in there that also help the angel deck. So stay tuned for the angel card. I don't think this card's too crazy, but she has a 2/1, and then give this follower +1. X equal to a number of your choice. So she can. I don't think this card's great because she can't attack, but she's an angel just for a target. She's pretty good. And then we also have another Valkyrie of Chaos, another angel card. She's just a big ward body, so she's a 3, and you can evolve her for 1, and she becomes a 5/5. So she's a little hard to remove early on, so she's really good for that aspect. And then we have another really good amulet. This is the amulet that also lets you draw. Then you can also search this off. You can also call this off of that little priestess we saw earlier, and then on death you can select any follower 3 defense or less and nuke it, so that's also really good. And then we have the Nun here. Nothing too crazy, just yeah, it was Bane. It's like not every follower if you give it Bane, so there's a little Bane card. Got the Hex. This is the foul we saw earlier that one amulet was going after. If there's an amulet on your field, deal 2 damage to each enemy leader, so it's pretty good. And then there's also a different version of it where if there's an amulet on your field, you can give health as well, so it's another light and dark one. And then this is Lyacon. You can discard amulet, select an enemy far on the field to deal with 5 and draw. Pretty okay, I would say. Might be some play for it. I don't know. And then it says also on Fenrir, you can discard amulet, select an enemy far on the field, and deal with 5 and draw cards. So funnily enough, you can actually do this twice. That's also really cool if you have a bunch of amulets kind of stored. Got the this is for the Departed deck. So again, the Necrocharge deck. So this is also really useful because you can do this on your opponent's turn. Here's the 3rd copy. And then got this guy. He's very okay. Not very useful. And we got some more the bats back here, really good cards. And then this one is the Necromancer that lets you select a Abyss Follower in your cemetery and add to your hands. So just a little if you mill a bunch early, you can use her to get cards that you need back to your hand since it gets any Abyss Follower. So as long as it's an Abyss Follower, you can grab it. And then we got some more dragon cards back here. I think these are for duelist. Yep, more duelist cards and some dragon for dragon decks as well. Like literally the dragon token deck, just so you're not confusing with Dragoncraft. This one's for the spells. And then we have this looks like a kind of cutthroat duelist card. And then we have the Dragon Slayer back here with the overflow. And then we have some more little rune cards back here, some more spells. The spells look pretty interesting. Deal each leader and enemy far on the field damage equal to the number of followers on your field. So if you have a bunch of you, just deal a bunch of damage. This guy's really good for the missile and academia stuff, and then we have another Tico here to also help with the stacking academia, and then the wolf guy, which is also insane for Earthright. Kind of a funny finish to just end on Earthright here. And that's basically it. That's the entire stack that we just went through. Look at we got so many cards. This is everything we just looked through. Quite a lot of goodies in here. I think the set's extremely fun. I think the set and the next set coming is going to be just a joyride of really cool cards. Really very excited stuff. I think Shadowverse is as per usual, usually in a pretty good spot. I think some people really considering some strengths in some of the top tier decks, but I actually think there's some strengths in some of the lower tier decks, or what they're considered to be low tier decks. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoyed the little box opening of basically everything for set 9. Stay tuned for more content. I'm definitely gonna be I'm already almost done building decks. I'm gonna be using the rest I have in here to build up what I have left and start making videos on all that. So thank you as always for watching. 50cards.shop, code orange if you need anything cards, and he has a bunch of other card games as well, like Vanguard and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that stuff. And then also if you need supplies like card sleeves or card holders or top loaders or anything among that lines, you can also check out BCWSUPPLIES.com. Use my code ORANGE10 to save yourself 10% as well on that end as well, so feel free to use that as well. So on that, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye. Bye.